I'm Jeff McDonald here at the EPA conference, the Evangelical Press Association conference. And we were privileged to hear Mr. Chris Maxwell present a workshop today and to learn something of his story. Chris has written a book entitled Underwater about his experiences after a near fatal incident in his life kind of changed his direction. What is your current ministry?
Well, I work at Emmanuel College in Franklin Springs, Georgia, Northeast Georgia. I'm the director of spiritual life at Emmanuel College. Also a writer. This is my 8th book,
Right.
and I do a lot of editing and ghostwriting also. And then I travel around the world and speak to epilepsy groups.
So we should be clear that you had encephalitis as a trigger to this.
Yeah, I had encephalitis, and that is what they said I would not live. They did not think I would live.
Right.
That I was going to pass away, but I did live. They did not think if I did live, I would ever be able to do again the things that I had been doing. So, as you can see, we're very grateful that even though I do live with epilepsy and severe brain damage, I am able to write again. This is my 8th book, and I travel and speak and try to give people hope.
How did your understanding of God change based on this experience?
Great question. Let me just take you back to the hospital with me when I was there almost dying. And there I was journaling as I was almost dying. And I was just writing it by hand, and we can't read some of the writing, but it was like David in his desperate Psalms. Honesty, transparent, holding nothing back, asking the why me questions.
Right, yeah.
And David asked those. We think God would be offended if we ask those questions, but he's not. He already knows. He loves us. He would rather us work through the feelings than live in denial and call it faith. True faith is facing our questions and our pain and entering into healthy dialogue with God. And I did that in the middle of the conflict, in the middle of the tension. I'm writing about why is this happening? I don't understand it. I felt alone, but then God was there with me. And I had preached about how we all need God, but I needed Him. I needed Him. And going back through that experience this many years later and writing Underwater, I was aware again of I've improved, but I'm still a man who's fully aware of my weaknesses, and I need God. I cannot make it without Him.
Is it a daily prayerful walk with Him?
Yes. It's minute by minute.
Minute by minute.
It's word by word. Because of my memory issues, those things that were easy for me, pre-illness, remembering names, remembering passages of Scripture, everything was simple to remember. Now, I can't. And I had to be okay with not being okay. His strength being made perfect in our weakness, not always our spiritual gift list or our personality profile. Strength made perfect in the weakness.
So how do you see the providence of God based on your experience and the reason for suffering?
Oh, yeah, that is a heavy question.
It is.
And many people struggled with my illness because this is a pastor, what has he done? And there are some people who lean in different directions that, we do something wrong, therefore we have this negative result, especially in some of the circles of the group that I was pastoring and that I serve.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if it had been something I did wrong to cause the illness, it would have happened long before now because we are a fallen man. And to me, we live in this fallen world, it's dust to dust, and we live in a world of tension, and these bodies fall apart. We have times of struggle, but God is with us in the pain. God is with us there. He is not just proving He's with us when everything is well. It is valley, shadow of death. Fear no evil. We have valleys. We have shadows of death. Prepare a table. Where? In the presence of my enemies. Wow. And there's peace and comfort knowing He is with us when we have epilepsy, when we are coming back from war with traumatic brain injury, when we are facing relational problems or financial problems, or whatever we're facing, He is with us there.
Given the fact that you've recovered from this traumatic experience, what advice would you give people who are trying to recover from some trauma?
Yeah. I think one of the biggest issues for people who are facing some type of life-changing experience, face it. Face the reality. And that's difficult. It was difficult for me because going through this experience with the brain damage, I was not fully aware of my condition. Those around me were having to adjust to this new me, the new dad, the new husband, the new pastor, because I had changed so much.
Yeah.
But mentally, I was slowly adjusting. It took me a while, and I had to go through speech therapy and all of that. But I started, in my opinion, becoming better once I was realizing this is a new me. This is who I am now. And being okay, realizing I'm not okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
living now with epilepsy and severe scar tissue in my left temporal lobe, I'm living with a damaged brain. And I can live with that. And I can also laugh. I can also write. I can also cry and understand those who are hurting once I was willing to face it. I like to say, face it and let God grace it.
I would say that your recovery is amazing, no?
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to?
Well, let me quote my Jewish neurologist.
Yeah.
I met with him again a few weeks ago. I traveled to Orlando for the new book coming out, and we were promoting the book. And there I am having dinner with my neurologist, and he's holding the book, and he's like, you have to and he's told me this before, but he's saying it again. He's holding the book. There he is. He's just grabbing the book underwater, and he's like, all right, you have to remember this. He said, your God and your stubbornness is why you're able to do this. And that was an interesting, we usually don't see those together. But he put those together because I had to be stubborn enough to continue believing, to do my part. Speech therapy, hard work, writing again, learning again. The words are not going to come just as a miracle if I do not do my part. But even doing my part, it is still a miracle that the words are here.
But your will was a big factor in this.
Yes. And there are many people who are so depressed in a life-changing experience that they choose to quit when it is not time to quit. It is time to be ambitious. We can do this. And I had friends to walk beside me and help me and encourage me so I was not living alone. And together we endured.
Wonderful. Now this book is now available, correct?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, ebook version, printed version. You can go to my Amazon site to look at any of my books. And also we will be having an audio of this coming out soon.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
underwater.
Very good. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for what you're doing, and thanks for this opportunity.
Yeah, that's wonderful.